Hello everybody, so today we are going to be doing homemade bread. It's quite a simple recipe actually. We only need 5 basic ingredients. So we need flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, fresh yeast. You can use dry yeast as well, but I prefer fresh yeast. We're going to use a small cube of that, and 550 ml to 600 ml of water, depending on the flour you are using. I like to use a special flour for bread. It's this one. Of course, it's preferable to use one that's specially made for bread because its consistency is somehow a bit different. But you can use your regular flour just as well. So let's get started. So there we are, we have our flour here, our yeast. What I'm gonna do is open the yeast and actually put it into the water. It's warm water, by the way, in order to activate it, not hot though, so pay attention, just warm water. Hot water will prevent the yeast from activating. So I'm just going to crush this into the water. And I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar here. The sugar will help activate the yeast. I'm only going to add, mix it a bit, I'm going to add the salt at the end because the salt slows a bit the process. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a mix, and then pour this in the middle, making sure we have nothing left sticky. Yep. And we're gonna leave this for about 10 minutes in order for the yeast to activate. Only afterwards we're gonna add the salt and start forming the dough. Okay, so now this has been staying like this for 10 minutes. We're gonna add the salt. And with a spatula I'm gonna go in and mix as much as I can before putting my hands. Slowly lifting the flour from the bottom. Okay, so I've gathered it together. Now I'm gonna slowly put my hands in. I've also took the flour by me just in case it's very sticky. I'm just gonna add a bit more flour. I think I might have added about 50 ml too much water. As I said, it depends if the flour you are using. We're gonna start forming the dough and then knead it for like at least 10 minutes. The more, the better, really. If you have one of those robots, then you can knead it for like 5 minutes on the first speed and then 5 other minutes on the second speed. So here I have my dough. I've put some stretch film on it and I'm gonna leave it to grow for like 90 minutes. If you can leave it for 2 hours, even better. It needs to pretty much double up in size. Also, it should be kept in a warm place, not hot, not cold, warm place, preferably in the kitchen. And check it like every 30 minutes, maybe knead it a bit in order to equally distribute the temperature so it will grow nicely. Okay, so here I have my dough after about an hour and 40 minutes. It's sticked, but not a problem. And I have my tray in which I'm going to bake the bread. If you have one of those creusé pots or something similar that can be put in an oven that has a lid, I advise you to use one of those. It's a lot nicer. If not, a tray will do. Now I'm just gonna take the dough and knead it a bit, try to shape it, and then put it in my tray. I've preheated my oven at 250 degrees. Okay, so using my wet hands, I've wet my hands with a bit of warm water. I've took the dough and placed it into the tray. Now we're just gonna try to do some yes, or maybe better to use a knife. We just want to have a bit of a shape when it's baking. Yeah, and we're just gonna put some flour on the top of it. Tiny bit. And cover it with foil for the first 30 minutes, or if you're using one of those pots, then put the lid on for the first 30 minutes. Okay, so here I've covered with foil, leaving a bit of a space on the top, as you can see, in case it will grow. And we'll check it in 30 minutes when we are gonna remove the foil. Okay, so after 30 minutes it looks like this. I'm gonna put it back for another 20, but I'm gonna cut the temperature off at 220, 230. So after 50 minutes in the oven, here we have our end result. I've let it to cool for a bit. Now we're gonna take it out. It smells so good. Look how nice is it. I'll put it here. So how about if we also cut a piece? Okay, so let's see. It's still a bit warm, but I'm really craving for the corner. Can you hear how crunchy is it on the outside? Ooh, there's steams coming out. So look on the inside as well. Very satious. Well, I'm gonna enjoy my corner. As for you, bon appetit!